the changed midfield there. We may
challenge Goss. Going to be a handful tonight, Elmo Kambindu. Nothing like a goal or two to settle yourself into a team, and your debut start for the side in the season. You contribute to that matter of grabbing a victory away from home, as Chippa United have on that occasion, then yeah, it's really positive. Vukumanja. Hafi Maralo. All the way back to Sianda Olu. Mbizai. Former Chippa United player, played for Celtic and then obviously Royal AM as well before he went down the coast to Chippa United, the Zimbabwean. Since then was spotted by Gavin Hunt. And I'm not sure that last season Mbizai scored against Supersport United in a league match in Tshwane, and yeah, the target was already there, and Mbizai then signed for Supersport United. Makes a good contribution. Little layoff here to Mbizai from Grobla. It's a nice little tickle to Lila Kay, too strong and well defended by Manjagoro anyway.
a little bit heavy there from Mbizai, trying to pick out Lila Kay.
It's nice to see the number of spectators that have come into the stadium. We weren't expecting a full house by any stretch of the imagination. We very seldom have it here, Chippa United home matches, but it's good to see the amount of patrons that have braved the elements to come out to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Peterson, under a little bit of scrutiny from Gampani Lungu. Brave ball out towards Zuko and Danielwa. That is going to be a foul from Lakay. Referee wants to have a look at Kambindu, who's injured.
I can see some tackles flying into from both sides early on. The conditions allow for that.
Fabulous, and it's not the first time we've mentioned, as well as Kambindu's back on his feet, the coverage that DStv Premiership enjoys around the world, because once again the former Marumo Gallants coach Dylan Kerr is watching us from Yorkshire. Kambindu's fallen over here, and can't really isolate a knock that he's taken. He looks rather distraught here, Kambindu, but there might be a change in hand here, and one has to look amongst the substitutes immediately for a strike to come on. There is Sipilele Lutuli, is much more of an attacking midfielder. Mentian Dwandwe is there, former Royal AM and All-Stars player, who is a striker. This is not good news for Chippa United, and maybe it's an aggravation of the injury that Elmo Kambindu had kept him out of the team until the brace that he scored against Richards Bay FC. So concern here for Morgan Mamila. Maybe
Lost his starting berth, Kambindu. He's racked up some decent performances here for Chippa United, so also an option there.
Armand did score against Cape Town Spurs in the Cape on the 25th of August for Chippa United. There is the bench of the Chile boys. Lloyd Katsapua, the Namibian goalkeeper. Sergio Kamis, right back. Marman, Brooklyn Pokumpulu came on as a sub against Richards Bay FC. Bentiam Dwandwe and Latino Kolo Huayiba, who is a former Pretoria Cali centre-back. But yeah, at all points maybe towards Ronaldo Marman or maybe Mentian Dwandwe. Meantime, it's Ibe Okon. The youngsters in the squad today from the junior ranks, which include Jabu Matsio, Keenan Besaidnote and Chandra Campbell, all former juniors, all youngsters coming through the ranks at Matatanta. Going to be too strong for Lebitso. It's not, you know, he's just kept it in play, and Pumbizai will come back and stroke it to his goalkeeper, Ricardo Goss. Lebitso continues his run. How clever Fukumanja was protecting space against Azola Ntsabo.
Both teams not managing to dominate proceedings. It's been back and forth all of 15 minutes.
Memela, Ntsabo, looking for Mulenga. Nice cover from Olu. Majogoro. Haven't really seen too much of a touch from Goodman Mosele in the last little while. Maybe he's still nursing that knock that he took earlier. Lovely back heel from Ntsabo. Memela with time and space. Just a delay for the moment. And Ntsabo, though, stays forward. Still Ntsabo. Shakes off one challenge, shakes it off again. Kampindu stayed on the pitch, by the way. Memela comes off Grant Marchaman.
There's some nice nifty work there from Ntsabo. Linking up with that man Memela, very much the playmaker for the side.
Chippa United will enjoy their first corner. Everybody in blue back behind the ball. The only player outside of the penalty area at the moment is Lyle Lakay. Gosh, drops the ball, but nobody quick enough to react. Kambindu was the closest to it, but maybe a yard and a half away. Now look where Mwabali finds himself. And Lakay was offside anyway.
It looked a bit risky from Nwabali, and I tell you what, he anticipated that, and Goss can distribute them when given an opportunity. Not the safest of catches there from Goss, but immediately looking to catch him on the counter.
Slightly awkward bounce of the ball on that occasion for Ronald Pumbizai. Marchaman with a challenge. Second ball for Mulenga. This is Majogoro. Ndunyelwa. It's a lovely flow for Chippa United at the moment. Nice little pirouette inside from Ndunyelwa. Can't find Kambindu. Tyson Hlatswayo is switched on tonight. I enjoyed him so much when he played at Bidvest Vet, Supersport United. They're under the cosh a little bit with 63% of the possession to Chippa United. But yeah, when he was at Bidvest Vets under Gavin Hunt, Hlatswayo was a really top player. When he went to Pirates, maybe it was a different formation. Maybe he didn't quite fit in with the other centre-backs there. I think Jelly and company were still playing at Pirates at the time. And when Gavin Hunt left Chippa United and went back to Supersport United, he immediately re-signed Hlatswayo, and he's reignited himself.
100% quality exists there. The leadership, strong in the tackles, aerially strong as well, is Hlatswayo. That's why Hunt has chosen him as the captain and the leader of the side.
Free kick for Lila Kay. Oh, Peterson's first touch is a little heavy. In fact, it's Kambindu. Taking the throw in quickly here. Lakay, lovely left-footed delivery, away by Majogoro. Pumbizai. Such is the menace of the Chippa United attack that Supersport United now get themselves into a little pickle. Augustine Mulenga. Good work done by Memela. Here it is, Luvuyo Memela. Still a chance though. Lipizzo's shot parried away by Goss. Good football by Chippa. Pani Lungu will come back to produce a little bit of a rescue act for Matsatsantse Patori, who have been at times under scrutiny in the opening 20 minutes.
Chippa looking good. Brilliant shot there from Lipizzo. See, just trying to catch him on the counter-attack there. Brilliant, or lucky rather, from Memela, and Lipizzo got everything behind that. Great decision from Goss. It was coming at a ferocious pace, and he decided to parry it, which is a correct decision.
I just wonder about that little stumble from Memela, whether it wasn't deliberate or not, and he seemed to be aiming to have a slap at the ball, and then heard the call from Lipizzo, and it's clever stuff from the former Amazulu veteran. Chippa United continue to attack. Elmo Kambindu, not seemingly suffering from the injury that had him down on 2 occasions just a little while ago. Lenga seems to have picked up a knock. Different coloured boots for the 33-year-old Zambian left-sided player. Claiming that he's been stomped on. In his illustrious career, he's probably had many of those sort of incidents. But the older you get, the less appreciated it is. He is just the same as in Nwabali and Dunyelwa, Peterson, Chabalala and Sabo. It's his 8th start of the season consecutively. Augustine Mulenga showing the faith that Morgan Mamila has in the Zambian, and the wide play provides. Manjagoro away for Chippa United.
Has been very comfortable there. Manjagora in the middle of the park there. You can see colourful Chippa United getting behind their team.
No, there is one thing that we haven't seen in the game of football in South Africa for about 2 weeks, I think. That's the presence of Buerta. And the reason for that, alongside with Mama Joy, is because at the rugby World Cup, they've switched allegiances. It's brilliant. That looked like a handball, by the way, of Terence Vugamanja. It's great all of a sudden. I mean, you watch a match for, Springboks in action at the World Cup, and all of a sudden they pan, and there's Mama Joy and there's Buerta. It's like,
brilliant.
That's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. Lipizzo, Mosele tries to get on his bicycle. Grobler outdoes him. Javier Moralo. Margeman. Me Ocon. Vugamanja does love the left-hand side. It's a decent ball, There's only one option really for Chabalala.
That's some brilliant wing play there from Lungu.
Supersport United have consolidated. They've had to think about things, and all of a sudden it's the visiting side who are starting to apply as much pressure as what Chippa United did 5 minutes prior to this little flurry of attacks from Supersport United. Lekay with the 3rd corner kick of the half then for Supersport United. Goes near post. Kambindu clears. Kapani Lungu. Kambindu again with his foot on the ball. Away by Moralo. No, it wasn't. It was Mtsabo. They just lost the moment. Chippa United on that attack, but they have a return of possession. Memela suddenly on the right-hand side. Dunyelwa looking for movement. Good block by Javier Moralo. Now Margeman. Man and ball at the same time. And it pops up for Memela. Lovely work initially done. Can't provide the finish. Augustine Mulenga. Beautiful with the ball at his feet. No finish, unfortunately, for the Zambian.
Gets the easy part wrong. Brilliant breakdown play there from Ojogoro. After that, it's Mulenga that takes over. Evades the first tackle and the second one. Needs to get it bottom corner. Lapsing concentration there. Great opportunity for Chippa United.
There's always a fear that you're going to carry it too far and the angle's tightening all the time, but he got himself beautifully positioned, and just for a while all of the Supersport United defenders were sucked into one area. Mulenga not able to provide the finish. And so far the finishing from Chippa United, except for that one shot from Tepiso Lopitsu, has been a bit wide. Grobler doesn't get full laces behind the ball. It really is dangerous to give him that much space, and just for a moment in front of Roscoe Peterson there was a bit of that gap. Chabalala is requiring medical attention. Yeah, perhaps from that previous set piece, an elbow in the ear, which isn't a pleasant experience. How's that for a coaching staff?
2 goalkeepers and a defender. That's why they don't concede much.
Ron Johnson, Andre Ahrens, Gavin Hunt. On the right-hand side of the screen, Grant Johnson, the national team goalkeeper. The precipitation has returned to the Nelson Mandela Bay in Gqeberha. It's raining.
I just when we thought it was clearing up nicely, the wind has settled. Down comes the rain. Conditions will be difficult for everybody.
Offside against Chippa United, to continue to play very, very attacking and positive brand of football this evening. You know, it is good. I was reading a report when we were at the hotel here in Gqeberha that a lot of the rain that's fallen over the last little while, and there has been plenty of it, has fallen in the catchment area, because sometimes in the past it's the rain has fallen on the coastal areas but not in the farming areas, and it's fallen in the catchment areas, and there's been a lot more benefit to the rain this time around than there might have been in the past years, and I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Mela is always going to be a contributor, whether it's for 90 minutes or whether he gets relieved of his duties after a period of time. To Morgan Mamila to decide the contribution. Worn by Ricardo Goss. Azolan Tabo. That's too easy with the clearance. Back to Goodman Mosele. Kampindu. Ball didn't drop. Batswayo is a tough opponent. There have been so many weather warnings from the Cape. I mean, I know the Cape's been lashed with so much torrential rain and powerful winds and trees being uprooted all over the place. And that has proliferated all the way up the coast, even past East London. We're still waiting, Jobo, for our first test.
Oh, thank you.
Not of that nature anyway. No, we don't want the Cape weather up here. A little bit of nice rain will be good for the garden, though. Lopitso in possession. Good defending from Lekay. Away by Tyson.
Supersport not having it all the way. Chippa really testing them.
It's going to be fascinating to see if Chippa United can play like this for 90 minutes, because I'll tell you what, there was a match here. I think they lost by 3-2 against Royal AM. On the 30th of August. And after half an hour, they could have been in front by 3-0. They weren't in front by 3-0. They did score goals through Martin and Chabalala, but it wasn't enough because Royal came from behind and won that match. But they played like this for the opening half an hour. And that's why I'm saying, is the capability there? Yeah, it's beautiful now. How beautiful is it going to be in another half an hour?
Yeah, got to make it count.
There's a little cut inside from Lungu Khape Moralo. Man and ball at the same time. That's good vision from Tepiso Lupitso, and Majokoro will find Memela. The slippery character, Memela. It's away from Markhaman. Kambindu, look how well he's shielding the ball. Kambindu. They stay on side here. Do Chippa United. Memela doing the creative work again. Sabo. That's good defending from Markhaman. Interesting ball. Instead of Chabalala, they go back to Peterson. Mulenga, Mosele, Ntsabo. The momentum, the pressure building on the Supersport United defence. You have to be watchful. Lupitso was in a beautiful position. Ulu, exceptional in defence.
Chippa moving that ball right to left, trying to stretch that defence of Supersport.
Mulenga, Memela. Supersport United passed a few tests here in the opening half an hour. Kambindu still gets the shot away, you know. Just for a moment, Kulu thought that the defence had been done. It wasn't.
Excellent striker play there from Kambindu. Managed to get the shot away.
Robles knocked down. Lekay, good work by Mosele. It's like he hasn't missed a game. Mosele, he's come back in, he looks fresh, he looks organised. Same quality that we're accustomed to. Fumbidzai, Lekay. Oh, it's a nice little touch from Fumbidzai as well. Majokoro just backed off, but Mosele doesn't. Mulenga loses out then. Lekay in turn loses out to Majokoro, and at the moment both sides not able to get more than one touch on the ball. Well, Supersport United do benefit from a few more touches, and it's fascinating to see how Chippa United have retreated back inside their half. There's not one player from Chippa inside the half of their opponent. Loving the singing from the fans at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Fumbidzai. Grobler turns. Lekay. Goal kick. So Stanton do the Supersport United weather the storm, which they have done so far. There's been no damage despite a couple of really good shots from Chippa United. Yes, a couple over the top, but Lupitso's shot was a good one. Do they weather the storm and come out and hope for things in the second half?
They're going to have to just being on the back foot, second best in most departments. They go into the second half without a goal. Well,
Lekay, Peterson away, second ball to Markhaman. Good turn. I think he turned the opposite way to what Chippa United were anticipating. Fumbidzai finds in the Wabali. Just look at that delivery. Yeah, Kulu will have it covered, but there was such an opportunity for Luvuyo Memela.
And it's some great communication there between Ime Okon and Kulu. And he moves further up. Kulu cleaning up.
Grobler. Such an educated and balanced first touch from the veteran. Majagoro retains possession.
He's been excellent all evening there, breaking down play, starting up play. Majagoro, solid midfield there, alongside Masele. Has contributed to the performance of Chippa United. They've been solid in defence and also starting the attacks, both Masele and Majagoro.
Ocon, one for the future, no doubt. Starting his 4th match in his 6th appearance. Majagoro again doing duty against Bradley Grobler. No easy task, I can tell you. Is it a benefit that Majagoro wouldn't have ever played against Grobler, intimidated by the reputation?
Possible.
Chabalala away, and therefore that batter is Labuya Mamela, but good cover from Ndunyelwa too. They're not making as much progress, Chippa United, as they were in the opening half an hour. And is it that time of the match where that sort of momentum dries up for the home side? And, you know, we argued whether it was sustainable anyway. That ball's gone out of play.
Yeah, you did mention the intensity of Chippa United. Can they sustain it throughout? It's a game that's been back and forth. More clear-cut opportunities there for Chippa United, has to be said.
Kapani Lungu with a knock.
Just landed awkwardly on the jump.
He was almost the master of his own demise on that occasion. No problems for the 25-year-old Zambian. Formerly played at Tower Dynamos on the Copper Belt. And 5 minutes away from first half stoppage time in Nelson Mandela Bay. Chippa United 0, Supersport United 0. This was to be the final score, then Supersport United would consolidate their 3rd position on the same amount of points as Abafana Vestende, same amount of matches played, but Bafana Bastende have scored more goals, even though the goal difference would be identical. Chippa United would move up above AmaZulu, who have a match to play against Swallows on Friday. Passed away by Peterson in front of Jugamanja. Tsabo, it's clever.
Peterson and Chabalala's answered all the questions that Supersport have been asking, especially when they try to go direct.
The little spurt of rain we had a little while ago was just that. A burst of enthusiasm from the heavens, but no more than that. And Mubali taking advantage just before half-time, and without the referee, Mr. Tsidiso Maroping will make a mental note of that. He's taking an inordinate amount of time to get this ball into play. The Nigerian-born goalkeeper. Kambindu with a challenge. It's better from Olu, though. Oh, Lupito bursting away from a challenge. Superb piece of defending from Supersport United. And that's a foul from Mosele. Apologises immediately.
Good work there for Moralo. Second game for Supersport, the youngster.
Lakay. Kumbitai. Lakay has made a bit of ground up the field of play. Grobler with a knockdown. Chance for Zugamanja. Side netting. It was a deflection that carried the ball into the side netting of the goal of Chippa United.
Well, that's the danger he poses, Jugamanja. Can often go unsighted and pops up. Very dangerous. Does most of his work in the box there. Reflection of Peterson.
Okay, doing duty from set pieces. Goes past Grobler. There is a second ball opportunity. Again, it was a deflection, you know, of Kampani Lungu. Consecutive corners there for Supersport United. Time running out in the first half for something dramatic to happen, but it's Supersport United piling on the pressure. Peterson flicks the ball away from Olu. Now Mulenga shows some. Turns it to Grobler. Good cover from Ndunyelwa too. They're not making as much progress, Chippa United, as they were in the opening half an hour. And is it that time of the match where that sort of momentum dries up for the home side? And, you know, we argued whether it was sustainable anyway. That ball's gone out of play.
Yeah, you did mention the intensity of Chippa United. Can they sustain it throughout? It's a game that's been back and forth. More clear-cut opportunities there for Chippa United, has to be said.
Kampani Lungu with a knock.
He just landed awkwardly on the jump.
He was almost the master of his own demise on that occasion. Okay.
Yeah, you did mention the intense.
The ball's gone out of
Chippa United.
amount of time to get this ball into play. The Nigerian problem.
And often go unsighted and pops Peterson.
Set piece. Sports United piling on the pressure. Yes, Chippa.
Go direct.
Free time with a third piece of defending. To play with the
Most of his work in the box there. Deflection of Peterson.
KG. Again, it was a deflection, you know, of Kamtani Lungu. Consecutive corners there for Supersport United. Time running out in the first half for something dramatic to happen, but it's Supersport United piling on the pressure. Peterson flicks the ball away from Ulu. Now Mulenga shows some turns it to Grobla.
We're back with a clean, slick, easy-to-use Betway site. Hooray! Betway's Frontline brings massive payouts with the Bamba 13, Mahala jackpots, and Win Boost offering even bigger wins. And in defense? In defense, we have a formidable back line with money back boost and cash out and all the bells and whistles on the bench. Betway stats, Betway bulb, and edit my bets.
What more can you ask for? It's a shoe!
Namluphuthi. Ayinilothe. Chisa.
Anisebahle.
Kwenyana.
Apethu. So, if you like nice things at a nice price, you'll love Nazo Meals.
Nazo.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, 0-0 at the moment in Quebec between Chippa United and Supersport. Both teams have tried to play on the front foot, but unfortunately, we haven't had a goal so far. And both sides, they'll be disappointed with the fact that perhaps they haven't been able to get the goal that they would have desired. But we've seen some pretty decent outcomes. And I mean, I look at this particular effort, when you speak of the threat that Chippa United poses, the ability to turn defense into attack quickly. Jimmy Dow, I mean, it's one of those threats that they do have. They are looking to hit with players like Libito on that counter-attack.
Yeah, Tabitha, there was just unfortunate not to be able to get that one into the back of the net. But a good transitional play from Chippa United. They get to punish Supersport in this process from a transition where Supersport was in an attack mode, but then they were forced to defend in numbers quickly. But yeah, I think Gos dealt with this quite well.
Stiga, you were up there. You saw the threat that they posed from a counter-attacking point of view. Is that something they're going to look to keep doing in the second half?
Yeah, they've been excellent on the counter-attack of Chippa United. They've got options. Here's another brilliant opportunity from Olenga. You know, he's done all the hard work in the world, but unfortunately just couldn't finish it off. But they've certainly been very dangerous on the counter, and Supersport just couldn't stop them.
I think here for me, Mulenga did everything right, but what I was disappointed with is the fact that he could not get the shot on target. At least force the goalkeeper to make a save after so much hard work.
And I mean, I look at this particular effort. It's quite criminal to not get a shot on target from there. But Supersport, they got a little bit better as the opening half went on.
Yeah, they've had their moments. I think when they bring Bradley Grobler into play, they're able to then play off him, and I think that's when they can be dangerous. They've tried to be very direct, but the central defense, Shabalala, alongside Peterson, they've been stalwarts, and they've been keeping the danger at bay.
Has the 6-6, Jimmy, worked for Chippa United here in terms of just keeping them quiet and protecting that back four like Morgan Mamila wanted?
Yeah, no, I think they've denied Supersport all the chances that they had. They had to take a snapshot from Bradley Grobler there to get that one on target, but Monobile was on par with that one. But I think so far, for me, Chippa has looked more enterprising and more. It's got more potential of scoring because they've stuck to their game plan. Supersport have allowed them to be on the ball, which is where Chippa, for me, are much more stronger.
And what they've done well, Chippa United, is they've managed to create a little bit of frustration within the Supersport camp. We've seen Coach Gavin Hunt scratching his head in moments during this opening off.
Yeah, I think where they've certainly done a brilliant job is in the middle of the park there. Mosele, very industrious. They're protecting the defense nicely. They're forcing Supersport to the flanks. And when it does go wide, they're not allowing that pass to come in. So a lot of frustration there, but brilliant tactical work from Chippa United.
Yeah, I mean, they've really gone toe-to-toe with Supersport United, have Chippa United, and they'll be disappointed that perhaps they haven't got that crucial goal. And when you look at the numbers, Supersport, they do have the possession, but in terms of the goal attempts, they are equal at the moment, Jimmy. So I guess not the worst outcomes for both teams.
Yeah, but I think they're not threatening each other that much. You know, whereas for Supersport United, they look for those odd chances from standard situations, from your set pieces, which is where Supersport is quite dangerous, you know. And I think Coach Morgan Mamela did mention the fact that they will try and make sure that Supersport stays away from their goals because it's where they are most dangerous. But I think in terms of possession, it might be marginal. But I think in terms of the team that has got more possibility of scoring for me at this point in time, considering the first half, was more from Chippa United.
Who will be the happier of the two teams so far? And when you look at the options that both sides do have on the bench, who has the better options too?
Yeah, firstly, without a doubt, I think Chippa United and Moguma Miller will be happier of the two coaches. Supersport will definitely ring changes. If it's not immediately, he won't be happy with the performance. I think Matsio is one opportunity, but Zaydenout as well as Sheldon, I think that they've got options. They've got some quality youngsters on the bench there, and I think that's what Gavin Hunt will do.
Yeah, no, I think it's more about game management at this point in time. You go into the halftime. You also don't want to rush to make changes, because I think the game has been a bit sloppy in terms of ball possession and the retention of it. They've lost a lot of possession, both teams. So I think the first 15 minutes will be to consolidate and try and take control of the game. Failing which, I think they can then resort to the bench and see what option they would have to pull out from the bench.
If you were thinking of the coach here, Stiger, with regards to both these teams, what changes are you making for your respective teams?
No, I think Supersport United is going to have to start be a bit more creative in midfield. I think they need to start winning the battles. So possibly a change in midfield for Supersport United. Chippa United's been excellent. There has been a high intensity to their game, so maybe come 70th minute, just some fresh legs for them.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how that battle does continue in the second half. A little bit earlier on, we spoke about Pulse of the Nation, episode 4 coming up. It's going to be exciting.
And the winner is Deutschland.
That New Zealand old man messed up the whole work.
When South Africa was robbed, one Charles Dempsey abstained from voting.
I think FIFA owes Africa a big explanation.
If you like nice things at a nice price, you'll love Nazo Meals. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Royal Flush Gin, 5 times distilled, French luxury.
May fortune be in your favor with World Sports Betting's Spin and Win promotion. You could drive away in one of 9 Polo Vivos and win a share of 12 million rand in instant prizes. Earn a free spin on our virtual wheel daily when you bet 5 rand or more. Visit wsb.coza and get spinning. World Sports Betting, your one-stop gaming destination. Bet with the best.
Think about it. Pick and Pay ASAP could change your life. You could shop without ever leaving home.
Thank you.
You could show your family some love.
He's my favorite son.
Mine too.
You could drop a hint. Give your best mate some help. You could even help the world. The more you think about it, the more ASAP delivers. Download the app today.
Welcome back. As a player, one is always tempted to go for the maximum. But Sean Ray, not always a good strategy.
Absolutely, Potty. As a car owner, sometimes you want to go for the minimum, especially when it comes to insurance premiums. Like Fit Freak Yusuf, Outsurance helped him work out the great premium of 700 Rand on his VW Polo.
Love what you did there, Sean Ray. So folks, call 08600 60,000 and kick those high car insurance premiums into touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Air Biliato. Enjoy a taste of wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Air Biliato.
Biliato, a taste of wealth.
Battery life.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome is
Welcome you back to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Quebec. Half-time in the DStv Premiership. It is the start of round 8. Chippa United playing host to Supersport United. 22nd match between these two sides, where there have only been 2 victories for Chippa United. Both of them have been in home matches and away matches that have had any victories for Chippa United. But it doesn't matter tonight because they're playing at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. For Supersport United, well, away from home, they have had 4 victories. Most recently on the 3rd of March 2019. We say most recently because that's when it happened. 6 draws in a row. At the moment we're heading towards number 7. Stanton Frederick said a 1-1 draw. At the moment both sides will have to score in the second half, which they have shown the capability of during the first half when there were opportunities missed by both sides, more so from Chippa United than for Matsatsansa Ipatori. A match referee, Mr. Tidiso Maroping, about to get us underway for what should be, if the first half was an example, a fine display of South African football. Already a touch from Bradley Grobler looking for Terence Vugamanja, and the intent is clear from the Pretoria side.
In the box, Vugamanja almost testing Nwabali at the near post.
No changes made by Morgan Mamila or Gavin Hunt at the half-time, but they will come, changes, and it will be very fascinating to see the changes and the dynamic that they will add to this promising encounter. Chabalala to Roscoe Peterson, between them a cumulative age of 65 years. Solid they've been tonight so far. Lepizzo with a lovely touch. It's a good touch of the ball as well. Oh my word, how close was that to Kambindu scoring 3 in 2 matches. Mamela scintillating.
Inches here from Chippa United. Fortuitous bounce there from Mamela. Lovely threaded ball through. An inviting ball for Kambindu. Just couldn't get at the end of that one. And Chippa United pick up where they left off.
That was so close to the opening goal. Bulenga, Mamela. Well, he was held very tightly in defence by Sianda Kulu, who is looking for some clemency from referee Maruping, and he might have
Rakiti just coming through from behind there. Kulu, an opportunity.
I thought he might have a case, Sianda Kulu, because he seemed to stand his ground, and Mamela might have tagged into the Supersport United centre-back. Zolan Tabo, easy for Goss. Looking for the immediate release to Terence Vugamanja. The way by Lepizzo. Dunyowa, Mamela, lovely touches. Look at Roscoe Peterson finds himself. Peterson has still stayed forward here. Oh, the referee has blown for the foul against the Chippa United captain.
He smiles that one off there. Great fight in there. Fortuitous from Peterson. Just coming through and clipping Pumin's eye. I think that's what the ref blew for.
The big question mark. Both sides showing lovely attacking intent during the 3 minutes of the second half so far. Grobler to Lekay. Just a reminder that Chippa United have not won a match at home this season so far. 2 draws and 2 losses. And Supersport United haven't lost away from home. Now, he's had a deliberate challenge, and that is going to be very problematic. One feels for Tulani Hlatshwayo, who might very well take the long walk of shame down the tunnel if the referee deems that to be another professional foul or something untoward on Tapiso Lapitso, because the medical staff have come on. Morgan Mamila will only want one thing to happen, and that's for a second yellow card to be issued to the Supersport United captain. This is a tense moment. That is worthy in itself, sorry Stanton, of a yellow card.
Yeah, 100% I'm with you there, Kev. That's late coming through. Stop the attack there, did Hlatshwayo.
Yeah, trouble here for Supersport United. Big trouble. Referee goes to the pocket. And unfortunately, the captain's armband is going to have to revert to another player. It's Bradley Grobler, the veteran striker, because Tyson Hlatshwayo is red carded 5 minutes into the second half. A foul in the first half of the yellow card, a second challenge here in the second. And Stanton, the challenge happened maybe 11 or 12 meters inside the half. This is the first one, or is this the second one? That's the first one. It's on the same player, you know.
Yeah, that was a follow through there. That was the initial one, but from a different angle you could see that Lapitso was possibly not directly but in on goal, and taking one for the team there. Second yellow for Hlatshwayo. He receives his marching orders. It's advantage Chippa United.
Well, the sort of flair that we've seen from Chippa United, this is a massive opportunity, bit of reorganising required in defence by Supersport United, as the goalkeeper Ricardo Goss will require some attention as Gavin Hunt reorganises the defence. Now, I just want to ask your opinion. 12 metres inside the half, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's far enough away from the goal to not have to lunge into a challenge at all, because surely there's cover behind. If Hlatshwayo is that far up the field of play, close to halfway, to challenge against Tapiso Lapitso, then behind him a holding midfielder would have dropped back, Markman would have dropped back, maybe Moralo would have dropped back, but there would have been cover. Why the challenge?
Yeah, I think he should have known where he was on field, but initially out of position, and that's what a central defender doesn't want. And most of the times they're lunging in silly, because as you mentioned, there was enough cover for Supersport United and Hlatshwayo to let that one slide and then just work his way back into position.
Was that a tactical injury from Ricardo Goss? And in your picture is Washington Arubi, the former Marumo Gallants goalkeeper, Zimbabwean, 38-year-old. Previously at Supersport United, then went to Chakuma Chamatsmiandila, who became Marumo Gallants. Marumo Gallants relegated to the first division. And Washington Arubi returns to Matatsansi Patori. So Chippa United with the additional player. A good header away by Fubidzai. Away from his former captain, Roscoe Peterson, who was in a really good position. It's a great opportunity for Chippa United against a 10-man Supersport United. Will play with 10 men for 40 minutes. Peterson again. The header this time was away by Terence Zvugamanja.
We'll have to see how they're going to reshuffle. Ime Okon, natural position is central defender, so we'll assume that he'll slot in alongside Kulu.
Looks like Lungu potentially will drop into a right back position. Umbitsai out still on the left, and Kulu and Okon as centre backs. Yeah, that works. Headed away by Kulu, ahead of Kambindu. Lila Kay, Bradley Grobler, tapped away by Chabalala. Kulu will rescue again. Tapiso Lapitso has been on fire tonight. This is Majokoro. Ndunyelwa. Chippa United will be eager to get the ball into the Supersport United penalty area. What they need to avoid, though, is to become frantic at it. They've got to stick to the game plan. It's worked for them so far. They've had opportunities. They've had the better of shots toward the goal of the goalkeeper. And they just have to keep their heads and be workmanlike.
Yeah, you're right. So no need to get carried away. Keep doing what you're doing. Causing havoc for that Supersport defence. And now they've got a extra man on the pitch. Should make it count.
Supersport United could revert to an old Wits University ploy of long ball. And then it cuts out the additional pass. In the meantime, that's not a bad ploy from the former Pirate striker, Terence Vugamanja, who scored in the previous game against Kaizer Chiefs. Nearly 10 minutes played in the second half, no goals in Gqeberha. Shabalala, Tsabo, offside against Kambindu. Outside assistant referee Alphas Sitole. Now, Chippa United have been industrious. At the same time, though, Supersport United organised. Catching the home side 3 times in an offside position. Thrown from Kampani Lungu. Oh, there's a space here for Chippa Morale. And he might have played it a little bit earlier over the head of Grobler, who was calling for the ball at feet. It might have been difficult with 3 Chippa United players between the ball carrier and the intended target.
I could just read up there what Grobler was saying. It's his first time.
Yet to get onto the score sheet this season is Bradley Grobler, but over 100 goals in his football career. Supersport United have a player down. Without the services of Tyson Glatswayo after his second booking of the match. Hence the little red ticket above SSU on the top left-hand side of the screen, if you've just joined us. This man's had a good match tonight. Zuko and Danielwa. He's 22 years old. Mamela equally. I don't think there's a player at Chippa United who's really had a bad match so far. That's been a really, really good team effort.
Yeah, it's been a solid performance so far.
Lila Kay. Grobler. Chippa Morale was there, but Ntsabo will clear, so for that matter will Majagoro. They're working hard in the midfield, Supersport United. I must say, that was good work done by Lila Kay. And if they play in this half of the field, Lila Kay still working hard, so is Majagoro. Mosele plays it too close to Marchaman, and he's done nicely, you know, because he didn't clip the ball out of play.
Excellent tackle there for Marchaman. We've often seen teams go down to 10 men and they start performing better, as we see Supersport with Chippa United. Eminent substitution here, Kev.
Now Ronaldo Marman, the 33-year-old, played at Chippa United before he went to All Stars FC and then returns to the Eastern Cape. Ronaldo Marman will appear for his 7th appearance of the season, his 3rd as a change player in the place of Augustine Mulenga. He does add firepower, he does add different ideas. The same age, the 2 players. 33 years old. Majagoro continuing to hold Supersport United at bay. Lakay puts pressure on Zuko and Dunielwa. Supersport United doing the right thing. You know, they've got this high press. They're playing deep inside the half of Chippa United. They're not allowing that attack that we saw from Chippa United during the first half. Gavin Hunt was praised very, very widely by Morgan Mamila at the start of the match. And the two worked here together in 2021 in Gqeberha. Probably still known as Port Elizabeth in those days. Change is a constant. It's one thing that is feared by a lot of people, but it is something that is going to happen. Probably his worst touch of the game. He's had a good one.
Yeah, you could see just trying to pick out Marman at the far post is Mamela.
Talk about name changes and change that is inevitable. When we left Johannesburg this morning, we had William Nicol drive. When we return tomorrow, it'll be Winnie Mandela drive.
Befitting.
Kampindu. One hour of football played at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Away by Tepiso Labitso. Now he's an attacking player, but you know he's dropped back to help a little bit for Zuko and Danielwa, containing Bradley Grobler. Through from Ronald Fumbidzai. Margaman. Zukamanja. Dunyalwa. One for you, one for me at the moment. Grobler could change all of that. Musele has picked up a bit of a knock in trying to defend Lila Kay. It's tight. There's hardly any leeway whatsoever being offered by the Chippa United or Supersport United. Still impressed with the way Supersport United have reorganised after the sending off of Tyson Glatswayo. And where they're playing their football, that will be another Supersport United corner.
Well, this is where they could possibly capitalise. Very dangerous at set plays are Supersport United. No Glatswayo. Ime Okon, Kulu, well as Grobler can pose the danger.
Like where Gampani Lungu has positioned himself as well. Well, that ball could have gone anywhere. Nice work away by Elmo Kambindi, but now there's nobody up front. Well, there's a touch from Marman. And the ball's away here to Machakoro. He's a holding midfielder, but he's got himself into a really top position here. Well defended by Jafe Moralo, to be honest. Goodman Mosele, Marman. The organisation of Supersport United is spot on.
They ran well to get behind the ball there, Supersport United. Counter was on. One or two extra touches, just seeing the opportunity fade away for Chippa United. Slipped there from Okon. Majagoro here, just waiting for assistance. Took a bit of time and trying to keep it alive there, did Musele. And Marman with a wayward pass, and that's where the attack ended.
They'll try again with Kambindu. I think there's a bit of pushing from the Namibian. Supersport United down to 10 men. The score level at 0-0. Headed away by Shabalala. Scored a fabulous goal against Royal AM. Headed goal with an angle back across the face of goal from whence it came. Robla from whence it came. Robla once again contained with that little combination of Lupizzo and Zuko and Danielwa. He's doing a really good job on the Supersport United skipper. Dreadlocked Baraka Mojagoro, just 26 years old. Robla in front of the Tanzanian. Back to Fumbitsa, now Marhaman eludes Kambindu, finds Ulu, but it's a very high line played by Supersport United. And for some reason, Chippa United are not really proliferating the extra man at the moment. Lungu goes back to Okon. Now Mosele benefiting from a good touch from Nsabo. But again, they're just getting themselves into trouble here, Chippa United. Morman, Nsabo. Not the flair, not the pace, not the organisation, not the penetration from Chippa that we saw in the first half. But maybe this man can change it. Freshest pair of legs on the field. Majokoro now has space as Supersport United track back with 6 players behind the ball. Ndunyawa. Lupizzo, Majokoro. Marman. Cut inside from Marman. Easy though for Okon. Krobler.
It was great hold-up play there from Krobler, but no eminent support.
Challenge between himself and Goodman Mosele and the coaching staff of Supersport United, sensing that the throw should have gone the way of Matatanta Patori anyway. They'll get one now. Gavin Hunt was rather displeased, to say the least.
There was gesticulating there on the touchlines, and the ref had to bow into him eventually.
Pani Lungu away though by Mosele. Now it is Nsabo. Manjugoro. Tapiso Lupizzo cleverly eludes 4 players from Supersport United. Now Lubuyu Mumela, Kampindu at the same time as the keeper. Mosele. Oh, keeper is rescued by Mr. Maruping, the referee.
Well, there was a foul on Ricardo Goss. And Bindu, the perpetrator. Brilliant ball played in from Memela. Goss did get there first.
Now, there certainly was contact made by the 30-year-old Namibian. That's better play from Chippa United. We did anticipate with the extra man, and we're going to see more flair play from Chippa United. It hadn't been evident, but we're now halfway through the second half, and maybe they've saved their play until now, except for that Lupizzo ball. Really fabulous first half. He seems to have just gone off the boil a tad in the second half. That's Zuko and Danielwa.
I would have assumed we would have seen a change from Supersport United first. That has not happened. Chippa has made that one change. This looks like they're about to make a second.
And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a very interesting one, and the correct one, in my opinion. Oh, lovely turn from Bradley Krobler. The dink away from Majagoro just takes it away from the impending doom for Chippa United. Clever play, though, from Matatante Patori, and it nearly found Kopo Moiralo. Tsabo, Chabalala. Mosele. Marman had made a bit of a run, but Mosele was looking across to his right-hand side rather than down the line. Ish. Pretty much similar pass rates between the two sides. Possession in favour of Supersport United. Supersport United, despite being down to 10 players. The referee wanting Fubutsai to get on with things. Finds Krobler. Back to the Zimbabwean. Nice turn from Lekay. Well, Krobler wasn't, I don't think, the target man. It had to be Chippa Morale, and nobody really made the angled run on the end of that turn from Lekay. Ronaldo Marman. Zolan Tsabo. And they're tracking back towards halfway already. Chippa United. Majokoro will change direction to Ndunyelwa. Now to Pisula Pizzo. Oh, it's a strong challenge from Chippa Morale. Moralo. Memela in the meantime. It's a lovely touch from him, and Marchaman gets in the way. And Tsabo! But needed to save, you know.
He knew what was he going to do when he first touched that ball. Sets himself up nice. Head down, knew exactly what he wanted to do. Almost creeping at that near post there. Excellent save once again from Ricardo Goss.
Now, this substitution, it's an interesting one, Stanton Fredericks, because don't forget, Chippa United, Morgan Mambila told us that he's going in with two number 6s, Majokoro and Mosele. He's taken off one of them, and he's brought on an attacking midfielder in Siphelele Lutuli, a former Bloemfontein Celtic stroke Royal AM player. Ball flipped away by Ricardo Goss, kept in play by Majokoro. The header clear by Zvugamanja. This is Lepizzo. Majokoro. They're just going backwards again for the moment, Chippa. They have possession though. It's a lovely ball to Kampindu. It's a good knockdown. It's a brilliant save.
Outstanding from Goss. Brilliant in-swinger there. That's the first parry to safety. It's the second one. A half volley. Not an easy height to save, and Goss got down in time to evade the onslaught from Chippa United.
Chabalala in that favourite position of his, coming in at the angle. He knows it could have been a different result on another day.
Another brilliant in-swinger there from Memela rather. Chabalala just couldn't get high enough to parry it into the net. Goss committed, the net was gaping.
So the introduction of Lutuli already paying dividends for Chippa United, and they will continue to attack the 10-player Supersport United, who are just about themselves to make a substitution. Tsabo. Will they get a second bite of the cherry here through Kampindu? He's held the ball up nicely. Yes, Majokoro again. Hasn't he had a good match tonight? He's had the best match I've seen him play this season so far, Majokoro. Memela. Paul and Marchaman at the same time. Marchaman's done enough here. Yeah, more than enough. Maruping perhaps suggesting that he won't tolerate time wasting from Ricardo Goss. Still 0-0 in Gqeberha. Only 0-0 draw in the last 6 came here at the self-same stadium nearly exactly 2 years ago, the 2nd of October 2021. And that's Mr. Stanton Fredericks was when Gavin Hunt was in charge of Chippa United, which might surprise a few people.
Not for long, no.
No. Double change here for Gavin Hunt. You were wondering when it was going to happen. Well, it is happening. And it's going to be Terence Vugamanja who's going to make way for Keenan Besaidenout, who has not played in the starting lineup. He comes on for his 4th appearance as a substitute, as does Jabu Matsio, who will come on for Lila Kay. So a double change time. And 4th appearances for both Matsio and Besaidenout off the bench, both from the junior ranks.
Besaidenout came on in the last game for Lungu.
The 2 fresh strikers on, which is very interesting from a Gavin Hunt point of view. And while the substitutions were being made, he was in a long discussion, Mr. Gavin Hunt, with his goalkeeper Ricardo Goss and the organisation of the defence for the final 15 minutes in stoppage time. A good first touch for Besaidenout and nearly falls for Grobler. The Pizzo attempted clearance. Here's a clearance from Chabalala. Fabulous organisation from Gavin Hunt. Don't forget the sending off of Tulani Tyson Flatswayo took place in the 50th minute, which is well, a long time ago, 25 minutes ago, and Chippa United have had opportunities since then, but they haven't been able to break their deadlock. Opening 2 matches of the season were goalless draws against Chiefs and TX Galaxy, and the only other time that Chippa United haven't been able to score goals was a home loss against Mamelodi Sundowns by 2-0 in the middle of August. Marman. Sabo. So are they going to struggle against another side from the capital city? Majagoro. Chabalala. Piso Lepizza. Mamela. Lovely little ghosting run again from the 36-year-old. Dunyelwa. I love this patience from Chippa United.
Slowly trying to draw Supersport out and find that final pass, which just couldn't find its man there in Marman.
That was the right idea. It might have been better if it had been passed slightly more goal side of the substitute, Ronaldo Marman. But we are now inside the final quarter of an hour at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. We do appreciate your presence tonight on your World of Champions. Now inside the final quarter of an hour at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. We do appreciate your presence tonight on your World of Champions. The start of round 8 of the DStv Premiership. Lutuli not able to make much progress. Matteo coming on for Lyle Leke. Side note denied by Justice Chabalala.
One of a number of youngsters that has been promoted to the first team for Supersport United. Saidno Matsio, another one on the bench is Chandra Campbell. He won man of the match in the opening game of the season for Supersport United. An array of talent being brought into the first team here by Gavin Hunt.
Majagoro. Dunyelwa. Oh no. Bread and butter for Ricardo Goss. Chabalala knocks it away from Grobler, who was playing on the inside left channel. Now he's down on the right hand side, and space for Mamela. Lepizzo looking for Letuli. Fresh pair of legs, different ideas. Majagoro! Oh, there was a huge deflection. Huge! From Ocon.
It was excellent technique there from Majagoro. It was not easy. Had to keep your head down. The ball was rising. Smack it into the ground. Well defended there from Ime Ocon.
new coaching pairing. Mr. Part of the world, Mr. Vilakazi, just having arrived from Abafana Westende. Arrows, Machokoro, I thought got in the way of Chabalala for a moment. There might have been a bit better communication, particularly from Chabalala, who was just behind the Tanzanian holding midfielder. This is Grant Margaman, escapes from Marman. Bidzai, Marman, patience from Supersport United in defence. Ricardo Goss. A great first touch from Lungu. Chippa United showing bucketfuls of patience here in the second half, but it's not patience they require. In the last 10 minutes, they would have to maybe take a few risks.
Well, that makeshift defence looking solid there. Lungu dropped to right back. Okon central pairing alongside Kulu.
Undun Yelwa suddenly pops up on the left-hand side of defence. Note. Lungu. Chabalala. Note. Yeah, I don't think it was a bad idea, just the execution not great from his teammate Mazzio, who was introduced at the same time as Note.
Just trying to get to grips with the tempo of the game is Mazzio.
Truly looking for Marman, away by Lungu. Majukoro must have been just a little tickle on Mazzio. He has had a tremendous match tonight as the Tanzanian. Disappointment for Ricardo Goss. No damage done though. The ball is 90 yards down the other side of the park. And Chippa United, try as they may at the moment, not able to break down the organisation of Gavin Hunt Supersport United side. And if Gavin Hunt is able to hold out for a point tonight or even win this encounter, I think there'll be a lot of happiness in their camp. Yeah, unhappiness with the sending off of Tolani Glatswayo, but their organisation in the second half has been impeccable. There have been threats, and there are going to be even more threats because a pacey man is going to be introduced. Thabiso Lubitsu may be running out of gas a little bit on the right-hand side for Chippa United. It's going to make way for another right-sided player, former Cape Town City and Orlando Pirates, 29-year-old Craig Martin. Certainly can cause a lot of trouble. Can the Cape Townian on the substitutes bench, or off the substitutes bench for the fourth time this season. Only twice in the starting lineup for Chippa United. Drops onto that right-hand side. Thabiso Lubitsu played in with such aplomb, particularly during the first half. Mbindu loses out to Grant Margaman. Way back Olu. Chabalala, Ntabo. Not quite time for Chippa United to really try to dominate